Hey there YouTube lovers, my name is BB8 and welcome to BB8 Reviews Film. You guys are probably wondering what this is. Well, I've wanted to do film reviews on YouTube for quite a while now, but I've only reviewed video game movies on my main channel. So I thought, my personal channel feels a bit deserted. And I've already planned that it would be a variety channel apart from gaming, so I thought I'd use it for film reviews as well. So why not experiment with BB8 Reviews Film? Because there is loads of movies that I want to review on the channel, like some films that released in 2023. I mean, I've already reviewed the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Gran Turismo, and Five Nights at Freddy's on my main channel because they're video game movies. But BB8 Reviews Film, there are loads of movies I could review, such as Elemental, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, Blue Beetle, and even films I didn't enjoy as much, like The Marvels and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. But for now, this is just an experiment, and if it goes well, I will review more movies that have already been released and as they come out in cinemas. And to start this new review series, we are going to review an animated movie that has come to my attention because of its negative reception surrounding the animation style, plot, and music. To start with, we are talking about Disney's latest movie, Wish. The reason I wanted to start a review series for movies on my second channel is because I'm an expert when it comes to Disney, Pixar, and Marvel, which I probably bet a lot of people wouldn't know that about me. So I thought I would use my second channel as a place to review movies, since I do have a different taste in movies compared to most people. So I thought that starting a film review series on my second channel may give a glimpse of what my film taste is like. But why Wish, of all movies, to start things off? If I'm going to be honest about this film, I did have high expectations for Wish. I mean, the animation looked unique compared to Disney's more recent movies. But what was the final film like? Well, you're about to find out. For the story of Wish centers around 17-year-old Asha, a girl who lives in the Kingdom of Roses, on an island in the Mediterranean Sea. The first act of the plot is what I wanted to talk about the most, only because the first act of the film may feel a bit slow. After all, the first act of the film barely had plot at all, since the first act was just Asha introducing the Kingdom of Roses through a song, prepare for an interview with King Magnifico, just to realize what King Magnifico is really like as a person, as he refuses to accept the apprenticeship for Asha or to grant any wishes to any of her family members, including Asha's mother Sakina and grandpa Sabino. It is really difficult to engage in the first act until Asha wishes for the star. She summons an anthropomorphic star, which Asha simply names Star. I mean, Star was a great character, but I just feel like the name for this character was a bit lazy in my opinion. but I found the first act uninteresting upon theatrical viewing due to the lack of story. But when Star entered the scene and Asha's pet goat Valentino started to talk, that's when it got interesting for me. Everyone in the Kingdom of Roses then senses the presence of the star, which doesn't go unnoticed by King Magnifico himself, and feels like the star could be a threat, which causes him to turn to dark magic, so he could retain the power-consuming wishes of the people within the Kingdom of Roses. In the process, Asha then sets out on a mission to obtain her grandpa's wish from King Magnifico. And from this point in the story, Wish just becomes a celebration of Disney by putting a whole bunch of references to Disney's past works, such as quotes and attributes within the characters themselves. The story of Wish was not amazing because of the nostalgia fest for previous Disney films, which was fun to point out. Even sitting through the credits just to see my favourite Disney character was a joy. But I would say the only people that would hate this movie are the people who hate crossover movies, because the cameos and Easter eggs overshadow the plot. The story of Wish wasn't terrible, but since Puss in Boots: The Last Wish did it first, which was a better movie overall, I feel like the story for Wish was alright. The comedic writing, especially for Valentino, definitely saved the movie for me. For the animation, now this is the one aspect of the movie I really wanted to talk about, since I know people have been critical of the film because of the animation. So I thought, why not give my opinion on the animation style? And from what I know, people call the animation in Wish comparable to TV animation. And I know a lot of people would say that's because the animation may have not had the realism of recent Disney movies like Raya and the Last Dragon or Encanto. But I know what they were trying to do with Wish. The animation does look different from Raya and Encanto because this is something called a stylistic approach. What this means is that Disney tried to go for a watercolor textured film with animation on the characters and the scenery. Wish is not the first time we've seen a 2D 3D hybrid animated movie, since other movies take stylistic animation approaches as well, such as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is the first movie to my knowledge to do this, since the film tries to go for a comic book look with the art style by adding comic book effects and adapting the background depending on a different character's emotion. That stylistic approach is why Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and its 2023 sequels are regarded as my favourite non-Disney animated movies. Other animated movies that have released since 2018 have actually took the stylistic approach as well, such as The Mitchells vs. the Machines, with the Katie Vision element being used as the comic book effects of the movie, to give the character of Katie Mitchell a bit more personality and what it's like to be in her point of view. The Mitchells vs. the Machines then went on to be my favourite animated movie of 2021, in front of Raya and the Last Dragon. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is now my favourite DreamWorks movie, actually made use of stylistic animation by making the fight scenes at lower frame rate with comic book effects that make the fight scenes pop out a bit more. And even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, which only released in 2023, did this by topping the 3D animation with sketchbook-like animation to make the fight scenes pop out a bit more, with the addition of comic book effects, making the animation a bit more expressive. But how did Wish use stylized animation? Well, Wish, compared to other Disney movies, goes differently in terms of animation style that it tries to go for. The motion blur is turned off because it tries to replicate classic Disney movies like Snow White and Pinocchio. But where do the visual effects come in? It comes in with the green aura around King Magnifico and how they animated Star. I like how they animated Star because it does look vibrant on screen, and the animation in Wish is unique compared to other Disney movies. The use of stylistic animation was a bit underutilized compared to other animated movies like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but the scenes where King Magnifico uses dark magic and whenever Star appears on the screen are the highlights in terms of how this movie was animated. But Disney's Wish is for people who like a blend of old and modern Disney. For the characters, Wish may not have the most memorable cast of characters in a Disney movie, but the characters we have to work with may feel undercooked at times. There are likable characters in the movie. The main character, Asha, voiced by Ariana DeBose, has a balance here since her character may feel well structured at times in terms of her personality, but her lore and background may feel a bit undercooked. I'm not gonna lie, Ariana DeBose does have a good singing voice. I'm not gonna lie about that, but at times, I may be mixed with Asha as a character, but she is a decent character to roll with. Valentino, Asha's pet goat, and Star are probably the best characters in the movie because of their comic relief. I mean, the character part does get more points because of Valentino and Star. And Asha's friend group does feel a bit overcrowded since she does have 7 in her friend group, each of them resembling the 7 dwarves from Snow White. They weren't given that much to do within the movie, which I feel like would have worked better as background characters than friends of Asha. If I'm going to be honest here, having 2 or 3 friends for Asha would be a fair amount, but 7 may be a bit too much. King Magnifico, who's voiced by Chris Pine, who is the main antagonist of the movie, does fit well into the roster of Disney villains, since he is the first villain to come out since Mother Gothel in Tangled. I like that we have an actual villain in a Disney movie for once instead of a twist villain, and Magnifico may not be the best Disney villain, but I can say he does fit well into the roster despite the problems he has as a villain. The only problem I have with his character is he may feel undeveloped at times, which is why the film doesn't actually explain his backstory or anything like that. And the song, This Is the Thanks I Get, doesn't really feel like a villain song, which I will get into that in a sec. The characters in Wish may not be the best in the Disney canon, but characters like Valentino, Star, and King Magnifico are welcome additions to the roster of Disney characters. For the songs in the film are fine at best, and the songs in the film do have a theatre vibe to them, but do have a pinch of pop elements in here, which I get because a pop songwriter wrote the songs for this movie. but I do feel like the songs are a mix of hits and misses. Because of that element, Welcome to Roses does have an acoustic Spanish vibe to it, which does fit in terms of the film's settings in the Mediterranean Sea at all costs, which does feel like a love duet, and I don't know why, but Asha does not have a love interest in the movie, so the song does have a weird vibe to it, so I don't know why they had to slip it in there. This Wish, which is the film's main song, and is also one of my favourites to come out in the movie. I'm a Star, which is another favourite of mine, because the scene it played in was fun, and it was colourful to watch. But the song may feel like Fixer Upper from Frozen, but I'm a Star was fun to listen to. I wanted to talk about This Is the Thanks I Get in particular, only because of the criticisms. It's a catchy tune to listen to, but the tone doesn't really fit King Magnifico as a character, which is an issue for me. The song doesn't have the feeling of villain songs like Be Prepared from The Lion King or Mother Knows Best from Tangled. Wish just doesn't have the impact of previous Disney villain songs. What we know is a song that does get me, since it does have a theatre-like tone to it, and the songs are fun to listen to, but compared to other Disney works like Moana and Encanto, they just don't have the same impact. It may not be Alan Menken or Lin-Manuel Miranda, but the songs and the soundtrack are solid enough to keep the film going. So to summarise the review, the story gets a 6 out of 10, the animation gets an 8 out of 10, the characters get a 7 out of 10, and the songs get a 7 out of 10. Leaving the final score of Wish being a 7 out of 10. Wish may not be the masterpiece I was hoping it to be, but the film was fun enough thanks to characters like Valentino and Star. It wasn't as good as Encanto or Raya and the Last Dragon, but was definitely better than Strange World. And I'd say that Disney fans will love it because of the callbacks to their previous works. But everyone else should at least give this movie at least one watch for opinion purposes, and that's it. Wish was not bad or great. It was a decent movie. So guys, what did you think of my first ever film review on the BB8 powered by BB8's house channel? I will be reviewing more films in the future if this review works. So, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn your notification bell on so you don't miss another video like this one. And don't forget to check out the BB8's house channel as well, because I do have video game movie reviews on there as well. So, I will see you all in a future video. BB8 out.